Get mantra and meditation MP3s at jasongallant.ca.
So often people who embark upon the enlightenment or spiritual journey seek to change how they experience life, which is pretty much what this is about. But there's a bit of a disclaimer on that is confusing at first. And one of these disclaimers is that when you give up a desire for something to change, that's usually when something changes. Because what we're talking about is the motives of the mind and the mind's control over your life. The mind has preferences, it has likes and dislikes, it has all sorts of ideas which act as a filtration device for reality, therefore distorting your experience of reality. So because of this, the mind is let go of. There is a detachment that happens of the mind. You detach from the mind, and then your experiences of life suddenly change. Because it wasn't life that was causing the suffering. It was the filtration of life that was creating the suffering. Now, I'm not speaking about physical condition. If you hit your foot on the corner of the bedpost, you are going to yelp, and there's going to be some physical pain. But when there is no mind to reject such experience, there's no emotional pain and drama around the experience. You see, there's no story which perpetuates suffering around one event, right? So like I've said before, there's a difference between pain and suffering. And the mistake many people do is that they transform pain into suffering. They transform it into a piece of the ego by placing meaning on the pain. Meaning about them, their value, their strengths or weaknesses, right? So often people will feel pain, and then the overwhelming realm of judgment emerges. They judge themselves based on this pain and create a story to solidify it and to relive it over and over again. You see this with people who feel sorry for themselves. Some of them have very tragic stories. But instead of meeting the moment when such trauma or tragic event happened and allowing it to just be there without placing more stories on top of it, they create a whole drama, and then it becomes a part of their identity in which they live like a badge of honor for the rest of their life, and therefore experience a diminishment of reality. They're not open to what's before them. They're too busy living the story, right? But my point is, is that no matter what pain you experience in your life, it doesn't mean anything about you. It doesn't make you less. It doesn't make you more. It's just an experience that comes and goes. There's no need to measure yourself or crucify yourself because of said painful event. Living the painful event once is enough. You don't have to create an avatar within yourself to relive it, right? So die 1,000 deaths, you know. So the practice of meeting pain and realizing that through that meeting, transformation happens, but it has nothing to do with your mind or your ideas or your story that you place upon it. It's just through intimate meeting of suffering. So as you can see, much of the suffering is created because of the rejection of pain or the misunderstanding of what pain is. Most often, pain is the opening of the heart. And as one expands into new territory, there is overwhelming sensitivity to reality which looks a lot like pain. But as one meets that pain and doesn't place a story upon it, just allows, right? One who is humble, who is surrendered to that, this will allow a natural process to take place, which transforms pain into your own power, your own wisdom, and realization of truth. So pain is not the problem. It's the resistance to pain and the crazy amount of stories that we create around it that becomes the problem, that locks us into an identification with suffering. So surrender your story. If it's no longer serving you, just surrender it and fall back into your power. And allow these magical processes to take place, because once you surrender the story, you are giving permission to the infinite to work within you. I hope this helps you on your spiritual journey. Take care for now.
Are you interested in working with a spiritual teacher in a formal setting? Well, perhaps the Wisdom Life School is for you. If you're interested in checking out what the Wisdom Life School is all about, just go to aratima.com.